Successful people always have a plan. Teachers, business people, builders, robbers, they all have plans. So when I play ranked, why is it that no one I play with wants to make a plan? Are people just too cool to talk? Are people shy? Do I sound mean? Am I a bully? I don't get it. Whenever I want to work with my teammates, I either don't get a response or I just get muted or yelled at. I don't get it. If you watch any pros play, you'll see that they're making plans all the time. Flash this for me so I can peek this. I'll break your drone so that you can peek that. Being able to create plans on the fly with a wide variety of comps is a great way to gain elo really quickly. So today, we're going over some game plans you can make with your teammates so you can instantly gain some rating. So let's get started. So the cool thing about Valorant that makes it better than CSGO is that you aren't limited by your utility. The longer the game goes on, the more types of utility are going to be introduced. So naturally, over time, there's going to be countless types of utility combos that go well together. For example, if you take a look at VLR.gg and take a scroll through some various teams' comps, you'll notice that whatever agents they're picking usually complement the other. Now, if you remember the Astra meta and how she was played on every map, Killjoy was also very popular. Maybe that was because Chamber wasn't out, but Killjoy and Astra go hand in hand. That's why they were pricked so frequently. If anyone got sucked into Killjoy's mollies, they would get obliterated and not have fun. And some of these combos aren't as obvious as others. Take a look at NRG's Icebox comp that they debuted last week. Well, at first, it might not look like there are that many combos, but take a look at this round. Viper's wall is, well, tall, and they use this to Omen's advantage to get a first blood and entry onto B site. Granted, NRG is a professional team, and this coordination won't be found in your ranked games. But the point I'm trying to get across is that you can be creative with your utility, assess what you guys need in a team comp, and how it can complement your other teammates. Let's say that you have an insta-lock Raze on your team. Well, Sova might not be as good in this match. You rather instead might want to opt in for a Fade or a Breach, as Fade sees and Breach's stun complement Raze really well with their paint shells and satchels. Or maybe you have an NPC on your team who locks Reyna. Well, to substitute for her lack of utility, you probably do want an agent like Sova so that you can drone her up. She could also throw her blinds to protect the drone so it can get further up sight and not get shot, like an Icebox or Breeze. Think about it. Reyna can't dash or anything, so you don't need a faster agent like Breach or Fade. Now keep in mind, these combos don't just cover basic utility either. This concept also applies to ultimates. For example, I think that KO and Killjoy are like a super duo. With Killjoy's turret and alarm bot, KO is able to right click his flashes and create some nasty plays. That's not all though. Killjoy's lockdown is a really strong ultimate, but that problem is that it can be broken real easily. But if you combine it with KO's ultimate, or even just his knife, he's able to protect it really well, making it for a really clean retake. I don't know, it's kind of funny to me how the robot and the girl who made the robot work like super well together, but that's beside the point. I could honestly go on and on about the endless utility combos in this game, but when you're in Agent Select, take the time to really think about what your team needs and how you can complement them. Now before we keep going, if you want to learn how to squeeze the most value out of your utility, we at SkillCapped can help you out. On the website, we have agent-specific courses made by Radiant One Tricks and so much more. So if you want to jumpstart on learning your new favorite agent, check out the website at skillcapped.com. Now the cool thing about Valorant is when you put all of these utility combos together and come up with some really cool execute. The game is just so much fun to watch and play. When I play my ranked games, I try and communicate where and when people should throw their utility. For example, on Ascent, I'll tell my Fade to toss her Haunt over the wall on the left side so that it lands on lane after I Omen Paranoia B main. And let's say that we have a Raze. I'll tell her to save her paint shells for backside to clear anyone out who decides to run back there and, hide and be annoying. By combining all of this utility all in rapid succession, you get some pretty neat executes, and you can usually roll over most teams. Let's take a look at this round from Optic a few weeks ago against FaZe. Just look at how coordinated this hit looks. You have this crazy neon wall that just cuts sight in half. You got these crazy KO flashes and knife lineup that goes top hut. And then you got the breach stun for stairs. And then they all wait patiently for the wall to drop. Everything that you see here was planned and fleshed out in a custom game. Granted, I don't expect you to have this level of coordination in ranked, but this doesn't mean that you can't have a plan. Everyone just jumps around and twirls their knife around while they could be coming up with something. And you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to work with these brain dead apes. Well, if you think about it, what are the chances that the enemy is making a plan? Odds are that they're not talking, and just by having some semblance of a plan, they'll probably get tilted or something. Oh my gosh, they're playing like it's VCT. I can't do this. Regardless if they tilt or not, this level of coordination is what it takes if you want to rank up consistently. You can't just no-comm your way up the ladder and expect to rank up regularly. From this game planning, you also figure out how to play around your opponents as well. Let's say, for example, you're playing against a KO. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to wait out his knife so that your execute doesn't get stuffed? Or if you're playing against the Sky on bind, someone better play anti-flash as you're taking long or hookah. Or if you see Cypher cages go up on site, you need to tread carefully and make sure you're breaking his trap wires. So maybe you're asking Sova to shock dart the ground before you guys go in. From coming up with game plans, looking at what your teammates can do, what the enemies have, and forming a game plan around all that is a great habit to get into. Before you know it, doing this will become secondhand nature and you'll gain RR so much faster. And this game plan stuff also applies to defense. A really popular combo that I see now is Sova Shocks and Viper Snake Bites. If you put these two together, you can get some instant kills as the round is just starting, or when the enemy goes to plant. Here's a few examples.
Easy, that's huge.
Oh my gosh, what? Dude, that guy, holy fuck.
Or that new Raze Fade combo that I mentioned earlier. If attackers aren't careful about where they're pushing, they're going to get destroyed. Here, watch this clip and tell me that this isn't insane.
Gonna stick them in place together, patience, but this time they fall victims to it. Oh, disaster! They get called off. Come on, man, we weren't born yesterday.
Fade and Raze wait for the perfect opportunity to throw both of their abilities, and they get 3 free kills from it. A free round, and this is on pistol. Or perhaps on defense, your team wants to fight a certain part on the map, like mid on breeze. If you have a KO or a Sky, one of them can lob a flash over this wall and blind anyone pushing mid. This allows someone to come from double doors and take an early and advantageous fight. Again, I could go on and on about the endless amounts of utility combos, but none of this is possible if you don't have a plan and if you don't talk. So make a plan. And lastly, one of the things that bothers me most in this game is that no one talks or works together when going to retake a site. The same thing always happens. The duelists run in first on their own, they die, the supports then dump their utility and try to follow up off themselves, and they die, and then you guys lose the round. I mean, how hard is it to say, I have a dart in 10 seconds, or can you flash? I'll dash into sight. Retakes, despite you being on defense, should be treated the same way as you would attack. It's just that you're on a time limit. But if you stay calm and collected, this time limit shouldn't matter as long as you're all coordinated, and like I said, have a plan. Here's an old Sentinels clip of a really solid retake that they had.
I love these retakes. 5v5 spike planted. You hardly ever see this. Okay, and you get to see how the util is perfectly used to retake the site.
Oh, Sick gets a kill, and that's what he needs to get the rolling, or excuse me, the running back. Hence what the operator gets one. Sick once again, showing the efficacy of that ultimate. The spike is gonna start to get abused. Dapper sticking on it. Zom continues to stick the matter.
They used the Omen Paranoia and smokes so that Phoenix could pop flash and drop from heaven. From there, he pops his ultimate and makes space so that his teammates can safely defuse the spike. Perfect utility usage. But dumping a utility together isn't the only thing that makes a good retake. I'm talking map control as well. Let's say that you lose B side on breeze. If you're rotating from A and cut through mid, you should push through elbow and try and retake B main. This is much better than trying to retake just through tunnel and arches, as it pinches the defenders and makes it really awkward for them to play crossfires. This same concept applies in every map. Retaking A on split, take the time to retake ramp. Retaking B on ascent, try and take B main. Now, in Valorant, there aren't any hard rules that you should follow, and retaking isn't any different. So as I mentioned before, if you don't have the time to retake map control, then don't. But it's still good to tell your team something like, can we just smoke off B main and go site? So from there, they can recognize that someone can shoot them from B main, but at least now they're expecting it. Take a look at this clip. It's a bit old, but this is honestly the fundamentally cleanest retake I've ever seen.
Ready for this swing if they can find this kill, which they've got the flash. It's perfect, and T1 have suddenly created an advantage.
Dude, are you kidding me? That flash came from...
Oh my gosh.
That flash came from Market, and they still hit B main, and now Automatic continuing to plug away at his opponents. The lockdown goes in, and Roarcar now, the last one remaining in a 1v4. Stuck around the corner, still thinking about going back. The defuse going in, and Automatic gets the last kill. T1... cold as ice, they take their time and they get an 8.
Oh, that's an unbelievable retake.
T1 plays patiently so they can take B main. Sky whips a flash from Market to pop in B main. Then they use a Killjoy lockdown to flush them out. This is textbook game planning. That's all we got for our video today. But remember that if you're really looking to improve at Valorant, I highly recommend checking out SkillCapped.com. We get it. You're just a player trying to get better at the game. That's why you're watching this video in the first place. You're capable of hitting that rank that you deserve. But there's no shame in asking for a little help. At SkillCapped.com, we spend hours going through viewer-submitted replays to let you know all the mistakes that you're making. We also couple this with our Smurf commentaries to show players that it is possible to carry themselves out of whatever rank that they're stuck in. It might seem hopeless at times, but trust me when I say that we can help you all out. All you have to do is check out SkillCapped.com, link in the description below. So hopefully you guys learned why it's so important to have a game plan. Just by saying a few words, it can make the world a difference. Whether you're attacking, defending, retaking, anything, Just have a game plan. You and your RR will thank me later. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.